Hello everyone, my name's Anthony Beardsall from Excellence Assured Trading Academy, and I'm going to talk to you today about what's happened in the markets. Just an ordinary day, but wow, the number of trading opportunities that were there for my traders. You know, the number of opportunities, almost unlimited, absolutely brilliant trading. And it wasn't a rangy market today, but it wasn't a trend market. The price was rising and the price was falling, and there were smooth curves in the market, if you like. So the market was able to pick up momentum in both directions, actually, and provide wonderful trading opportunities for us. And honestly, you probably could have found about 30 different trades just on one time frame today. This system works on all time frames that I run. When I was learning to trade, I was desperate for somebody to tell me when to take trades. You know, give me these signals, tell me exactly what I need to be looking for. And then I knew I'd be able to follow it. And nobody was out there providing this information. This is what I do provide in the gold system. And it was my aim and objective in doing all this to devise a system that people could follow, where there's no ambiguity. It either is a trade or it isn't a trade. And that's what I wanted. I thought if somebody gave me that, I'd be able to follow it. And, people who are taking my courses, any courses, you've got a history before you take the course. You've got a history, like you have in life. You've got a history, and during that history, you develop habits, often bad habits, as well as good habits. And these habits take a while to get out of your system. And so during the time that you're changing a habit, what you're looking to do is you're looking to absolutely reinforce what you want to be doing. And so you need to practice. First of all, you need to practice trading on a demo account so that you basically clean out all the bad habits that you've had from previous trading that you've done. And once you've cleared all the bad habits out, because you'll automatically be looking for the right things and not making mistakes. And that's when, once you're confident, when you can start risking real money. And when you've proved success on a demo account, then you can do that. And only at that stage you can do that. And these bad habits will only reoccur if you begin to see the market in ways that you've seen it in the past. If you see the market as, the way that you've been taught, with all the indicators pointing, and saying the same thing, then you program your brain, you program your mind to, like any old habit, like tying a shoelace, like, brushing your teeth, any habit that you've got, shouting at people or just ignoring people, this sort of thing. These are all habits, and trading is a habit. You need to clear your mind of old ideas and stick with what you've been taught, and eventually you'll clear the habits out and have only good habits. And that's what I teach people. So let's go and have a look at the charts and see what has actually been happening. I'm going to talk you through a couple of different markets just to show you how effective this river of value system that I run is. So I hope that you get some good information and value out of this. And do give me a shout or ask any questions via the comment section below. But if you want any help with your trading, let me know. This is the DAX chart, 5 minutes. And this is the chart from the open. So the open was down here, there, and it went down to start off with. You can see this river of value between the 8 and the 20 EMAs, and this is what I use to judge the value in the market. And so price rides this river. Very seldom it spends time within the river. Often when it's going to go through the river, it'll do it very, very quickly. And that switched, that big green candlestick there, switched momentum to up. Huge green candlestick. And you can see there were no huge red candlesticks to change momentum back until this one here. And then a big green one there started propelling it upwards. So I've got a method for trading this value, and it's called my gold system, my gold trading system. People tell me that it's trading gold, and it is. And this is on the DAX. So, you know, you can see that this system, we're trading bounces basically from the river of value, and we're trading them based on a system that I've used for 10 years plus now. And I use it not just on the DAX, but I use it on the Dow, on the NASDAQ, on the FTSE. It works on all of them, and it works on all time frames. And this is just an idea. This is the 5-minute chart. And, you know, just look what happens here, because this happens all the time. You'll see on my videos that I've done previously, when the candlesticks move away from the river, they're more likely to go right the way through, because by the time price has made its way up here, it switched from going down to going up. And the reason is because when it got up here, it had sufficient momentum to push it through. And that switched the value. The value was pointing up at this stage here, and then you get bounces up. So you've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, call that 7 there, 8 there, 9, 10. There are hundreds on the charts every single day. Sometimes trading is more complicated, and sometimes it's just doing this. And it's in a range then, and it's slightly more complicated. But once you get to know the rules, you know, this you can operate it effectively, I hope. And this is the Dow. You can see the small candlesticks are pre-market, and the bigger ones are when the market opens. This is the futures, and it mirrors pretty much the actual Wall Street Dow market. And even with big candlesticks, you know, value switched following a big red candlestick here to down. It poked through, wasn't really settled down below it, and this was the opening candlestick. But once it realized, or the traders realized, that price was in a position it shouldn't be, you got a big reaction. And that happened all the way through to here, where you got a big green candlestick that nearly pushed it through, but momentum wasn't quite big enough. And by the time it came back down here, you see this long-legged doji candlestick here. That's a fine indicator for this type of candlestick. A doji with at least a 50% retracement and a gap between the high of the candlestick and the river of value. That's a great sign. That's a great indicator. See here as well, you've got a doji candlestick with at least a 50% of the size of the candlestick as the tail at the bottom of it, and then price went up. You see this on lots and lots of charts. And when the market is doing this all day long, just in a range, these are often good buy and sell signals. Here's another chart on a different day, and you can see this is basically a level price range, but you can see these candlesticks all the same at the highs and at the lows. And so they are good signals to look out for as a pause there, followed by continuation, and there, followed by continuation, or if there is a gap between value and the candlestick, it can bring an end to the run, the trend leg, if you like. Here, end of the run, goes back, and by the time it gets down, goes through. So these are good things to look out for. So we're looking for a gap in between the high here, because it's below the value, and below the river, and 50% at least of it, the candlestick being a tail. And when you get that, it tends to, well, it signifies that there's no momentum any longer taking price down. It sounds, it seems like there's no appetite for selling when you get a candlestick like this. And in actual fact, the bulls had possession of this candlestick. They managed to retrace the sell back above 50% of the height of the candlestick. That's what you're looking for, as a change in momentum, and it propelled price higher. Okay, and pretty much all day price has been following the river of value. Pretty much, but you won't find this is unusual. This happens almost every day in some form or another. You just need to be able to read the movement of the charts. This is back to the DAX, and you've got another one of those candlesticks down here. This one has a high here, and it's way away from the river of value. Retraced at least 50%, and then that was enough to send price shooting through. So these are good signals, and you can use them. Quite often dojis, you need to be fairly careful, because quite often dojis can be a continuation pattern, like this one here that was a continuation pattern. This one here, which was that's a pin bar actually, but it's got 50% of its body of the candlestick is actually over 50% is the wick, with much less than 50% being the body. So these are often continuation patterns, but in the right place at the right time with the right confluence. So here we go. I'm back to my what I believe to be true, which is that people look for context, content, and confluence. It's what the human brain does, and it's what the human brains have programmed computers to do, is look for evidence. If the content is right, it's in the candlesticks in the right place, like here, just touch the river of value, then you will find that there's follow through. And you need confluence as well, and the confluence comes in other factors that I detail fully in my course. Let's have a look at another market here. So this is the NASDAQ, and you can see again the same things happening. The market is basically pushing through with big candlesticks, and then following the river of value. And these bounces, are all worth 50 points on these markets, NASDAQ and the Dow. 50 points per trade, 20 as a minimum for these candlesticks, and 50 in these ones here. So that's worth having, isn't it? They're all, with the system, they're all low risk trades because the probability is high of a success, and if you place your stop in the right place, so this river's in the way of your trade failing, then you've got a good risk to reward, because the reward is higher than the risk. For example, this candlestick here, the risk, if you took the trade down here, the risk would have been this, the high of the candlestick, the reward was down here. So, you know, more than one per risk. Here, even better one, price comes back down, closes below the 80 MA. This is the risk on this candlestick, that high to low, and you've got 1, 2, 2.5, 3 to 1 in there. And that's the type of trade that I love. You know, this, I see these markets every day and this system works. So give me a shout if you want to help with your trading, because this gold system is gold, trading gold. And one way or the other, you know, it can only help your trading, I'm sure. Anyway, that's an overview of the market. So let's just see let's have a look at what was going on the daily, what's been going on the daily chart. You can see here that we've been in a downtrend. Price has been going down, hitting the river of value and going down. And this is today's candlestick, just right at the bottom here. It's beginning to look a little bit like one of those long-legged doji candlesticks, isn't it? With the high way away from this river of value. Plenty of time left in the day yet, but we are late afternoon in the UK now, and so you know, that might be a good signal here. It was a good signal, wasn't it? 50% plus being the tail, and price followed by going down. Because it was in the right place, it was just above this river of value. And same again here, just about 50% of the candlestick was the tail, and 50% roughly was the whatever you call this bit. So maybe the wick in the tail here. But it was followed by a good candlestick and got follow through perfectly. Same again here. Big wick on the candlestick, and then the follow through was great, followed by a sell from there. And when the price comes back and the signals are all still there, you've got another good sell from there. This is Trading Gold, folks. My name's Anthony Beardsall, and it's been a pleasure being with you again. Please do give me a shout if you'd like help with your trading. Otherwise, I'll be here with another video soon. Trading Gold. I'll catch you soon. Look after yourselves. Cheers. Bye.